Meantime, let's bring in Fox News digital reporter Michael Ruiz, former NYPD Lieutenant Darren Porcher, and cybersecurity expert Morgan Wright. Thank you all for coming on. Michael, I want to bring you in first to the conversation because you're among those who broke this news. I mean, it was kind of fascinating, you know, where you listen, you think, oh, the big story here is that the Sheriff's Department is fighting with the FBI. That is a big story. But then you learn there's a glove inside the house. We didn't know. We knew there was DNA inside the house. We didn't know there was a glove. We still don't know where it comes from, who it belongs to, and what the context is, but it's a big story.
It really is, Trace. And going back to 2016, the sheriff has probably had some kind of beef with the FBI. He was under federal investigation, or I'm sorry, the department was under federal investigation at the time. But now, despite all of these reports about tensions between the two agencies, these guys seems like they're making some groundbreaking progress. The way that they recovered that doorbell camera video we saw earlier this week, I'm not aware of that having ever been done before. The physical camera was missing, and there was no subscription to the cloud service. So that footage shouldn't have been stored anywhere as far as we knew. But they were able to recover it. They were able to get it, and then they produced not only the video that they showed us, but they went and this morning, one of the first things they did today was throw a tent up in front of the house, go in there. You know, we couldn't see the magic that the investigators were doing behind the tent, but they came out, did some measurements, and were able to tell us this physical description of the suspect being 5'9" to 5'10", average build, things we had no idea about 2 days ago. Yeah,
it's crazy. I wanted to run this by you before I bring in Darren and Morgan here, because this is Sheriff Nanos, and this is 10 days ago on February 2nd, and he was talking about, you know, welcoming all the help he could get. Listen to him.
Look, there's no ego here. We in this part of the country, we'll take anybody's help. It's not about, it's not about who's in charge. From day one, when we contacted the FBI, they were that gracious to say, whatever you need, whatever you need. And so that's really it. And they're great partners, just as my other local law enforcement brethren there. I didn't even have to ask. That's what's really amazing. I haven't had to call anybody. They've called me. Sheriff, what do you need?
Changed his story just a couple of times in there. He said, you know, when we first reach out to the FBI, we'll offer all the help. And then he changed, said, well, we didn't even have to ask. And the FBI says, no. We asked if they needed help. And he said, okay. And then there's been this resistance.
Right. That's what we learned tonight. And on top of that, so 2 days went by before the FBI went and asked about the case and then was invited in. Before that, I've talked to people who really wanted to be on the case from day one. And we hear so much about the first 48 hours in a missing person case. What was missed in that time? We know that once the FBI was involved, they came back to the house, they physically removed cameras, then they went to Annie's house, which is her other daughter, and they searched that house. They did a whole lot of investigating and evidence gathering days into the case, which is a little bit unusual.
Yeah. And the big problem here is because they had some friction, and what happened is they took the glove and they took the DNA from the house and they sent it to a private lab in Florida, and the FBI wanted that to go to a federal lab. They wanted it to go to Quantico and be analyzed there. In fact, they're thinking the glove might have to be reanalyzed at Quantico. Stuart Kaplan said this, former FBI, about using private labs versus using Quantico. Listen what.
There may be a plausible explanation as simply as the Sheriff's Department in Pima County may have a contract with this private lab, and the private lab said, look, we're not busy, we can expedite the analysis and send it on down. The problem with that decision, if in fact that is true, is that private lab is not going to have access to the FBI's database CODIS, meaning being able to run that DNA sample once it's processed through the analytics up in Quantico.
I mean, he's right, Darren Porcher. You look at this, and we're racing against time because, you know, Nancy Guthrie is still missing. This is not one of those investigations that just can take forever and ever. You need information, and you need it now. And I think Quantico is probably the best place to give you that. Is that fair?
Trace, you're absolutely right. We want to maintain a sound chain of custody. We want to have all of the items go to the same place. And this dust-up between the FBI and the local police has now become counterproductive. Ultimately, the main goal is to bring Nancy back home safely and take the perpetrators into custody. That should be the directional path that we should be focused on, as opposed to these arbitrary disagreements between two law enforcement agencies that should be working in tandem.
Yeah, it's amazing to me, Morgan, Morgan Wright, bringing you into the conversation here, that they have now asked for a radius, right? 2 miles around Nancy Guthrie's house. They want the residents who are in that area from the dates of January 1st to February 2nd to send them video, appropriate video, cars going by, cars parked, people walking by, anything that looks out of the ordinary. This really is kind of moving more into your territory, Morgan. I mean, this is becoming kind of this cyber investigation for a great deal of it.
Yeah, Trace, there's 3 things that are going to help close this case. It's going to be time constraints, being able to create a good timeline, technology, and behavior. And so when you start marrying all these 3 things together, for example, I think, we found the glove out there and people said, oh, is it related? Now you have a glove that's inside the house. Now you start looking at the behavior things, and that's why they've expanded that out. That glove was found 1.5 miles out. Now we want to expand it 2 miles out. The reason being, many of these folks who engage in these behaviors do what we call pre-attack, or pre-crime behaviors. They do reconnaissance. They go out, they check things out. That's why any suspicious vehicle going through the area may have been looking where are they going to target next. That's why you're going back in time. Sometimes you can do reconnaissance on an area 30 to 45 days before you go hit it. But they have a reason for saying they're doing that. And then obviously with the glove, the other thing, Trace, too, I know a lot of people are talking about DNA, but here's the one advantage of having the FBI do it, according to that report earlier. They can actually compare the plastic between, or the glove material, the one found out there and the one in the home, and tell you, did they come from the same lot? Can you have an assumption that they came out of the same box? That's a link of a case you don't have to wait for DNA for.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's fascinating stuff, but it's interesting because, Michael, we write about this stuff all the time. The public, when you get the public involved, as we saw yesterday, they released information, 18,000 tips, right, over the course of since February 1st. Suddenly 4,000 come in. You release that video and the public is involved because they feel compelled. Getting the public involved is a good idea because they're very good at this stuff, right?
You're absolutely right. And the whole concept of getting the public involved, the amount of attention to detail that people have to this kind of crime, it's so high profile, it's so shocking. People want to be participating in solving it. And anybody who saw anything is going through their own home video, going through other video that's been released to the public, and they're looking at it with such a fine-tooth comb. I mean, it's like free labor for the investigators. And then they call in their tips, which have to still be vetted, and it's probably a laborious process.
Yeah.
But they're coming, they come forward and they lead to solves in a lot of these cases.
That really is. It's a key. The downside now, Darren Porcher, to you, because it kind of over the past couple of days, I mean, 2 nights ago, we were here and we thought this thing was going to be solved. It was going to, by the time we had somebody who was being questioned, right? We had somebody down in Rio Rico being questioned, and we thought, wow, this is all coming together. And then it all kind of fell apart, and you had the guy that was detained. No. You had the gloves that were found, didn't really work out. And you had the TMZ video today of the guy with the backpacks, and they said, no, that guy has been cleared. It seems like we're back to square one, or are we, Darren Porcher? What do you think?
Well, Trace, I don't think it was a fault of law enforcement as it relates to detaining an individual, because I believe that law enforcement had substantive information that led them to believe that this person could be a possible suspect. We were able to discount this individual based on the statements and the warrant that was executed to disprove him as a suspect, so we let him go. As we move forward, I still think that we have a lot of information that's very supportive as it relates to moving in the right trajectory and getting the necessary person and taking the necessary person into custody. We've collected DNA evidence. Trace, as you mentioned, the glove. In addition to that, as you mentioned, the Ring doorbell camera alert that's amassed people within the 2-mile radius to present information that can be quite telling from the Ring doorbell cameras. I think this is all substantive information that's leading us in the right direction. So we're not at a zero. We're moving in the right direction.
Morgan Wright, to you, Harvey Levin from TMZ was back on today. He was saying they got another note from the person who claims that they can out the intruder that walked up to Nancy Guthrie's door if they just give him one Bitcoin, $67,000. Is there a way to go after that person right now? Is it worth going after that person? Is it why they raised the reward money from $50,000 to $100,000?
You know, Trace, there's a lot of psychology behind why you set rewards at certain levels and why you don't set them at other levels. When they get too big, everybody wants to get a part of this. And I say that this is an unscientific term, but this clown that sent the message, he's going to have a bag of hammers dropped on him by the FBI. And what he's going to do is he's going to divert critical resources and attention away from this investigation. And so when he is arrested, and he will be, I think he'll be one of these examples that the court sets. But, you know, because of that, they can trace this back. I mean, we could trace Bitcoin transactions now because of 9/11, because of terrorist financing. So tracing this email back. But look, if he really had the information, 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's the way you do it. You don't go to TMZ.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.